On the news, bandits kidnap ex-NYSC DG and others in Katsina State. Decomposing body of abducted Anambra lawmaker found on Niger Bridge. And Reps Committee proposes Lagoon, Ijebu, New Kaduna and 28 other new states. Many thanks for joining us on the news on TV360 Nigeria. I'm Tamilore Akinkulie. We begin in Katsina State, where gunmen suspected to be bandits have kidnapped the former Director General of the National Youth Service Corps (NYSC), retired Major General Maazu Tisga, alongside several residents of Tisga village in Kankara local government area of Katsina State. The attack occurred on Wednesday when the assailant, armed with sophisticated weapons, stormed Tisga residents, leaving 2 residents injured. One of the attackers was accidentally killed by his colleague during the raid. Now, while the Katsina State government and police are yet to release a statement on this latest incident, report says the attack lasted only for a few minutes but caused significant distress in the community. Katsina State, like many parts of the northwest and north-central regions, continues to face persistent attacks from bandits who target villages, abduct residents, and loot properties. And the lifeless body of Justice Azuka, a member of the Anambra State House of Assembly representing Onitsha North, has been discovered on the second Niger Bridge. Azuka was abducted by gunmen on Christmas Eve while traveling along Onitsha, was found in the early hours of Thursday. According to a statement by Anambra Police spokesperson Tochukwu Ikenga, the lawmaker's decomposing body was recovered during a joint rescue operation by police and AVG operatives. The police commanded launched the manhunt for the perpetrators, with Ikenga assuring the public that the joint security team has also taken over the scene and is working to apprehend the suspect. Justice Azuka, a Labour Party member, gained his assembly seat in November 2023 after an appeal court overturned the initial victory of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) candidate. And the House of Representatives Committee on the Review of the 1999 Constitution has proposed the creation of 31 additional states across Nigeria. This proposal, if approved, would increase the number of states in the country from 36 to 67. Deputy Speaker of the House Benjamin Kalu disclosed this during Thursday's plenary, where he read a letter detailing the committee's recommendations. The proposed states span across all geopolitical zones, and it also includes the recognition of the Federal Capital Territory Abuja as a separate state. However, for these new states to be created, the request must meet stringent constitutional requirements, including approval by at least 2/3 of the Senate and House of Representatives, as well as endorsement by the state assemblies and local government councils in the affected area.
New state and boundaries. 1. An act of the National Assembly for the purpose of creating a new state shall only be passed if a request supported by at least 2/3 majority of members representing the area demanding the creation of the new state in each of the following, namely the Senate and the House of Representatives, the House of Assembly in respect of the area, and the local government council in respect of the area, is received by the National Assembly. Local government. Advocates for the creation of additional local government area are only reminded that Section 8 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended, applies to this process. Specifically, in the accordance with Section 8(3) of the Constitution, the outcome of the votes of the state houses of assembly and the referendum must be forwarded to the National Assembly for further legislative action. Proposal shall be resubmitted in strict adherence to these stipulations. Submit 3 hard copies of full proposal and memoranda to the Secretariat of the Committee at room H331, House of Representatives, White House, National Assembly Complex, Abuja, not later than Wednesday, 5th of March, 2025.
Now, joining me to discuss the proposal of 31 more states in the country is political affairs analyst Jide Ojo. Thank you so much for your time. Now, what is your take on this proposal to increase the number of states in Nigeria from 36 to 67? Now, do you think this is the right move at this particular time?
Thank you, Tamilore. I think it's just a proposal. Is something that some people are demanding, but the demand did not start today. I think the last state creation exercise was carried out in 1991. And since that time, under the military rule, there has not been any further creation. And there will never be, I can tell you for free, all these 26 new states is not going to fly. It's not going to fly because there are very stringent constitutional requirements to make it happen. You have heard the Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu, the Deputy Speaker, saying what the conditions are. Two-third majority of Senate, two-third majority of House of Reps, two-third majority of states, and then, of course, local government. And how do you meet all of those considerations in a situation like this? But assuming without considering that there are even justifications for us to demand for more states and local government, are they economically viable? The existing 36 states and 768 local governments and 6 area councils, we are struggling to fund them effectively. You could see that many states could not even pay salaries of their current workforce. They are afraid of increase in wages. They are talking of paucity of funds. Look at the whole hullabaloo about the tax reform bills and why some governors are kicking against it. It's because they felt if the sharing formula for VAT is kept as the proposal that the Presidential Committee on Fiscal and Tax Reforms were made, they were not going to be able to pay salaries. So as good as it may look on paper, for people to say, oh, this state is too big, let's create more state out of it. The point is, with the rising cost of living, which has also exponentially increased cost of governance, I don't think this is the right way to go. Those who are making this proposal are it's a mere wishful thinking, which will not see the light of the day. I can tell you for free that the possibility of us even having one new state created under a political dispensation like this is not funny.
Well,
Because
sorry to cut you short,
to
Mr.
polarize the
Jide.
entire country.
Sorry to cut you short, Mr. Ojo. Now, if you look at this proposal, there is a proposal that the Federal Capital Territory be recognized as a separate state. Do you also think that this is necessary since it is not a creation of a new state?
Well, I don't know whether there is a popular saying that when something is not broken, you don't need to fix it. Right now, the FCT, where I'm speaking with you, seems to be okay in terms of administration. They have mandate secretaries, which are like their own commissioners. We have two ministers actually, and we have two House of Representatives member. We have one senator, and all the functionaries of government and public services is working. So, what will be the big deal of having? I think what people are clamoring for over time was to have a mayoral status for Federal Capital Territory, to have a mayoral status for it. But even if you want to make FCT a state, for whatever argument purpose you want to do that, that may be considered because it's not going to be too costly, in my own view. There are already existing structures, so you are not going to be carving out as many political offices as with new states if
All
they are
right.
created.
Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Jide Ojo. We really appreciate. Moving on, the governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, says that the second phase of the Ajiyan Water Works, once completed, will provide 70 million gallons of water daily to residents. Sanwo-Olu made this known during an inspection of the Ajiyan Water Works in Ogun State, revealing that the project had reached 80% completion. The governor commended both the contractor and the local community for their cooperation in ensuring the provision of potable drinking water for Lagos residents. He also noted that efforts will be made to lay pipes across the Lagos Lagoon to supply water to the island, including Ikoyi and Lekki area.
This is an impressive civil works that has to be painstakingly done, and you can see the depth of the pipes, the depth of the excavation that has to be done. And once it's completed, you can see that the finished work is fully compacted and it is turned to a real hard road. You can see that the neighbors are indeed very, very happy with our contractor, Mr. Selini, on this right of way, all the way going to Akute. But gentlemen of the press, I think the main pride for us is what we've seen inside the Adion Water Works Complex. As you know, you saw Adion 1, which is an existing water works that supplies water, all the way in different parts of Lagos. But the Adion 2 that has been known for, it's gone through a series of challenges, right? But Adion 2 is meant to produce 70 million gallons of water per day. And you can see from the working trip we had today, the civil works is about 80% completed. You saw all the major civil works, the electromechanical work, which has to do with pumps and filters and all sort of electromechanical. You saw all the containers are there. So they will start fixing all of that, and I'm told about 70 to 75% of all the equipment are also on site.
In Borno State, a critical step towards addressing the challenges of flooding and water resources management has been taken. The Federal Executive Council has approved a significant budget for the reconstruction of the Alau Dam, a vital infrastructure project with the potential to transform lives in the region. Now, this next report by Comfort Samuel has more details.
The Federal Executive Council has approved 80 billion naira for the reconstruction and rehabilitation of Alau Dam in Borno State, with work scheduled to begin soon. The announcement came after Tuesday's FEC meeting presided over by President Bola Tinubu at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation revealed that the project is a collaborative effort between the federal government and the Borno State government and is expected to be completed within 24 months.
The Alau Dam, which is very critical, which has some challenges as a result of flooding that occurs on the 10th of September last year. So the designs, analysis and everything of that particular dam, of Alau Dam, was done and presented to the subcommittee, and that request was made before Mr. President. And Mr. President graciously gave an approval of 80 billion for the reconstruction and expansion of Alau Dam in Maiduguri, Borno State.
The minister explained that immediate rehabilitation will begin between February and July to reduce the risks of flooding in 2025. Especially as heavy rains are predicted by NIMET. However, experts believe that the project will be completed before the rain begins, as it will negatively impact residents.
Well, the project itself shouldn't cause much problem to the community, but it needs to be done very, very quickly, because we have to remind ourselves that this is the dam that collapsed, and as a result, there was a lot of flooding. And we have been told by the Meteorological Organization that we should expect rain in the next couple of months, and heavy rain at that. And as you know, because of global warming, we're having what some people call rain bomb. There is no longer rainfall, this rain bomb in some areas where you have a massive accumulation of water just falls at a very short period of time, and it can overwhelm a lot of measures that you have in place.
Once completed, the dam is expected to support agriculture, empower local communities, and provide reliable electricity. Experts have emphasized the need for efficient management to maximize these benefits while minimizing environmental impact.
The project is handled very well. It could actually be very, very good for the agriculture, especially the downstream. If it's handled well and the water that is released on a steady, regular basis, and then is channeled to various areas where it could be very, very useful for irrigation for a large segment of the community there. Again, it has to be handled very, very well.
Residents of Borno State have expressed relief and optimism about the project, noting that the destruction of the dam had disrupted their daily lives, from farming to access potable water.
The menace of the last year flooding in the state has brought to many people devastating destruction and in fact driving back the economy of the state, of the country. But with the allocation of 80 billion naira to the states to reconstruct the Alo Dam, I believe it will no doubt improve the economy of the state and avert future occurrence in the state.
Lack of proper maintenance of the Alo Dam was what caused the flooding in the state last year. But with the intervention of the federal government by releasing 8 billion naira to the state, I think there will be proper maintenance that will curtail the excessive flooding in the state.
As preparations move forward, all eyes will be on the government to ensure the project is executed efficiently, bringing sustainable development and much-needed stability to the region.
News Now will now go on a short break, but still to come, Malawi prepares to withdraw troops from DR Congo. Details of this story right after this break.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
And wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the Go-To app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other Paper Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
Welcome back. Now here's a quick recap of our top stories. Gunmen suspected to be bandits have kidnapped the former Director General of the National Youth Service Corps (NYSC), retired Major General Marazu Tixga, alongside several residents of the Tixga village in Kankara local government area of Katsina State. The attack occurred on Wednesday when the assailant, armed with sophisticated weapons, stormed Tixga residents, leaving 2 residents injured. We also informed you that the lifeless body of Justice Azuka, a member of the Anambra State House of Assembly representing Onitsha North, has been discovered on the Second Niger Bridge. Azuka was abducted by gunmen on Christmas Eve while traveling along Onitsha, was found in the early hours of Thursday. Now, in case you missed any of our news bulletin or for more updates, you can catch us on Lime's World TV and AVO TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store or Huawei App Gallery and Apple Store. On Facebook, we are TV360 Online. Now it's time for business news, and Okwayemi Owosheni is on standby. What's the latest, Okwayemi?
Well, Tamilore, the Nigerian government through the Nigerian Port Authority has announced a 15% tariff increase, the first in 32 years. NPA Managing Director Abubakar Danso disclosed this on Thursday in Lagos during the stakeholders' engagement. He noted that a 15% post-tariff increment is across the board. Now, this development comes weeks after the Nigerian Communications Commission approved the telecommunications tariff hike capped at 50%. Represented by the Executive Director of Marine and Operations, Olalekan Badmus, Danso explained that the agency had maintained the same rate for over 3 decades, despite significant economic changes, including exchange rate fluctuation, rising wages, fuel and lubricant costs, and inflation. We'll take a break now and be back with updates from the stock market. Welcome back. Nigeria's stock market is on a winning streak. On Thursday, it climbed by 0.1%, marking its 4th consecutive day of positive gains this week. The positive performance at the bourse on Thursday was driven by strong investor interest in shares of Fitton Healthcare and UPDC alongside other notable gainers. This surge in buying activities helped to propel the market capitalization to an impressive 63 trillion naira, marking another strong day of growth for Nigerian equities market. Etana took the lead in Thursday's rally, soaring by a 9.88% gain, closing at 33 naira 35 kobo per share. Close on its heels was Cadbury Nigeria, also seeing a solid 9.88% jump. Now, a total of 124 listed equities were active, with 33 advancing and 23 declining, reflecting a mixed but optimistic market sentiment as investors kept the momentum going. Now, at the close of today's trading session on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, a total of 537 million shares were traded across 15,450 deals with a market value of over 23 billion naira. Now, when we compare this to the previous trading day, that's on Wednesday, February 5th, today's data on the Nigerian Stock Exchange reflects a 49% drop in trading volume, a 20% drop decrease in turnover. However, there was a silver lining with a 2% increase in the number of deals, suggesting that while the overall activity slowed down, investor engagement remained steady. Now, on the global front, it's of a mixed trading as the UK FTSE and Japan's Nikkei recorded a bullish trade. It's a different case, however, for US Dow Jones, as you can see on the screen, as it ended in the bears. Now, in the foreign exchange market, the Naira experienced one of its strongest recovery in recent months at the black market, as the Naira is trading at 1,570 Naira to the dollar, 1,950 to the Great British Pound, and 1,620 Naira to the Euro. That was our business and stock market report. Over to you, Tamilore, for the rest of the news.
Thank you for that update, Okwayemi. Well, on the foreign scene, Malawi has ordered its military to prepare for withdrawal from Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, where the Rwandan-backed M23 armed group has launched a fresh offensive, according to a statement from the president's office. The Malawian troops were part of a Southern African Development Community mission deployed in 2023 to assist the Kinshasa government in addressing unrest in the mineral-rich eastern region. The decision to withdraw is also intended to facilitate planned negotiations for lasting peace, and the exact timeline for the troop withdrawal has not been specified. The force, which is primarily led by South Africa and includes around 1,300 soldiers, also has contributions from Tanzania. And a day after U.S. President Donald Trump stopped American engagement with the United Nations Human Rights Council, Foreign Minister Gideon Saar announced that Israel is following suit. Neither the U.S. nor Israel are currently members of the UNHRC, but like all United Nations member states, they have informed observer status and a seat in the council meeting chambers. It further said that the UNHRC has passed over 100 condemnatory resolutions against Israel, a figure amounting to over 20% of all the motions ever passed and more than the total combined resolution against Iran, Cuba, North Korea, and Venezuela. And in the world of entertainment, the Federal Ministry of Art, Culture and Tourism and Creative Economy, under the leadership of Anat Musawa, has announced that the Federal Executive Council has approved the Creative and Tourism Infrastructure Corporation and Creative Leap Acceleration Program CLAP to create potentials to grow the creative and tourism sector. Musawa introduced CityCo, a public-private initiative to build, fund and develop world-class infrastructure for creatives, investors and tourists. According to the minister, the initiative is not just about building, but also creating opportunities, growing businesses, and making Nigeria a global creative powerhouse.
CLAP is a digital platform that gives access to creators no matter where they are, in a rural setting, in the urban setting. With this CLAP network, they'll be able to get training, capacity building, funding, just the general network that is needed for them to be able to accelerate their growth. So this capacity is a capacity and developmental initiative, and it seeks to ensure that creators all over Nigeria are able to be trained and they have the tools and the resources that is required for them to be able to get the best out of their craft. And you know, on this platform, we are making sure that we take care of all the 49 different subsectors. So no matter what side or spectrum of the creative industry that you're part of, CLAP is your home, because it is through CLAP that we are going to make sure that we get you the network that will get you the funding, the training, the capacity building, and just the general access that is needed for you to become the next Davido, the next Burna Boy, the next big actress in Nollywood or Kannywood. So CLAP is a great initiative, and I really look forward to ensuring that we get as many people enrolled on the CLAP network, because that's the way that we can really reach out to as many creators all over the country.
In the world of sports, the Nationwide League One has approved Friday, April 11, 2025 as the kickoff date for the new season. The announcement was made through a communique following the league's annual General Assembly held virtually on Wednesday. The assembly resolved that the league would be played in a stadium league format, and the body is expected to determine the venues for the league. The NLO also announced an increase in the participation fee for the new season, and over 130 teams are expected to participate in the league. And at least two teams have secured their spot in the Copa del Rey semi-finals, and they are Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid. This comes after the conclusion of Wednesday's quarter-final match between Real Madrid and Leganés. Madrid took a 2-0 lead before the 30 minutes mark with goals from Modric and Endrick. However, Joan Cruz pulled one back for Leganés with a penalty. In the second half, Leganés equalized when a shot from Cruz deflected off Mendy and found the back of the net. And that wraps up our bulletin on News Now. Many thanks for watching. I'm Tamilore Akinkulie. See you again next time.